Okay, so Italy getting knocked out by Macedonia. That's a country that you'd see in the Bible. It's quite interesting how far football has gone. That Italy, from being champions in 2006, all of a sudden not going to be at the World Cup for the second time running. You're welcome to Strictly Sports. My name is Johnbinho, and I've got Akachukwu and Rotimi, and together we will first talk about some of the major points in the World Cup qualifiers: Nigeria, Ghana, Italy, and so on. And we'll also touch on one or two stories in the world of basketball. So Akachukwu, you're welcome. Rotimi, you're welcome as well.
Thank you.
So let's start with Nigeria. Nigeria, Ghana, Jollof Derby. It did not turn out well, I don't want to say it did not turn out well. It was underwhelming. 0-0. Both teams were playing without tactics. And I saw a video earlier on of a female reporter, asking Augustine Eguavon, so what is your playing style like? And it was like, Pep Guardiola? He likes Pep Guardiola's playing style. So I was like, where's the correlation between Eguavon's playing style and Pep Guardiola's playing style? So I don't understand.
I don't even get how. I feel like they don't even talk about tactics. Do you guys think that's a possibility? Like maybe they just come, oh, you're playing 7. They just point to a board. You're playing here. You're playing. But I don't think they would talk about tactics. But the thing is, I don't get. Like, how can you be so poor? Like, there was zero, composure in everything they did. They just threw the ball away. Like, oh, I don't want to hold the ball. Oh no, if I hold the ball, you might score me. Like, playground football. Any small thing, send the ball. Osimhen has to run to the wing, run to this wing, battle with 2 or 3 defenders. Anyway, they were just poor. More of the same of what we saw against Tunisia. It was almost equally as bad. So let's hope Tuesday will be different. But to be honest, I can see a scenario. Let me not say something bad, Sha. I'll say it too, because I see a scenario clearly where we can play 0-0 and Ghana will win us on penalties and go to the World Cup. It's very, very, very possible.
But
I don't know how
this is
people
Abuja.
don't see it. Okay.
The pitch is better.
What
Ghana's
do you mean
pitch
the
was
pitch
actually
is better?
not good
The
enough.
pitch in Cameroon against Tunisia, what was wrong with it?
I can't say
What
for
do you-
that.
What do you
Cameroon.
mean pitch? If you try to play your game and then the pitch is bad, we would see it. We would see what you're trying to do, even if maybe sometimes the execution will be off. But we would see what you're trying to do. You keep doing this thing, or you keep trying to go this or that way. Come on. I don't know, Sha, but Ghana tried. Let me not be so maybe we are not that good. Maybe we are not that good. Maybe Ghana are better than us.
I agree
They will
with
shock
most
us in
of-
Abuja and
most of what
qualify.
you said.
I'll laugh.
Aka. I agree with most of what you've said, Aka, yeah? But one thing we are not taking into account is I truly believe Eguavon and the Super Eagles had some form of tactics. They had a plan coming into the game. You could see in the first 20 minutes of the game, they kept on repeating the same motion, trying to give the ball to Osimhen, trying to make him run in behind, trying to make him bring the ball down. But we lacked that was so critical in that game, and that's the midfield general. There was no midfielder that was able to control the tempo, that was able to, distribute the ball properly, and was able to communicate between the players. We also had too much individual freedom. You could see that boy with dread. I think his name is Moses Simon. Yeah, he was holding on to the ball a little too much, releasing it to the right people at the right time, and I think that was one of the things that hurt us in the first few minutes of the game. After the first 35 minutes of the game, I believe they just threw the tactics out the window. They stopped playing with any form of pizzazz. They stopped trying to infuse, any, like we say in the playground, anywhere Bele face. So I wouldn't put it on Eguavon. The players he picked were not. We were missing a few things. could obviously not play out from the back. They are not that sort of thing. So maybe in the second leg, if we are able to play in that hole and be commanding and be able to match Partey man for man, then maybe, just maybe, we might be able to, show what we have and be able to play our game.
First and foremost,
I'm not crossing my fingers, Sha.
You spoke about the midfield general. I believe that's where Mikel comes in. Back then when we used to have Mikel, we used to control games more, at least from the midfield. Now there was a problem. Where my problem wasn't necessarily the two midfielders in Aribo and Innocent Bonke, because they were doing their work of kind of cutting off channels sometimes of the Ghanaian attacking players. My problem was the connection between those midfielders to Osimhen. Iheanacho was supposed to be the one to plug that hole. He wasn't plugging the hole at all. It took over 10 or 15 minutes for me to realize that Iheanacho was actually playing, was on the pitch. And I expected to have seen someone else. And I think that's where we missed Iwobi. Some people will say Iwobi hasn't been on form for a while, but that's where we missed Iwobi. That plugging of hole between the midfield and the striker. That's where Iwobi, would have fit in. But that's just it, by the way.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But it's just tactics. You don't always have to be rigid with your formation. I don't get it.
Yeah.
If your players are too out wide, you bring them narrow. Let them be narrow. You don't have to do one part. Everybody was just everywhere. You would see one player running at two Ghanaians. There's nobody inside. There's nobody coming to help him. Rotimi getting balls to Osimhen around the beginning of the match. Nobody was supporting. Akachukwu has been extremely poor for a while. Yeah, I think he should be dropped. I don't like him. Even Moses Simon, I think he can do better, or we can do better. If he's not playing up to scratch, it's not because of those. He should now be nailed on the left wing. There are guys that can do better. And this midfield general thing you are saying, I don't want to say everything is not about Mikel. Mikel is just a player that played. He was a really good player, but he's no longer there, so you don't have to keep referring back to him. We should be able to, with the quality we have right now, we should be able to do well enough without Mikel. Cope very excellently without Mikel. So it's not a matter of Mikel. It's a matter of the coach, and then the coach getting the best of these players. He has quality players. These are quality players. We have a quality bunch in a sense, not top quality, but quality to a sense. In Africa, this is a very, very quality squad. This may be the best squad if you want to look at it. We have maybe the best squad of players in Africa. So it's just down to the coach. I'm not crossing my fingers because I don't think Iguavon is coaching wise. I don't think he's good enough tactically in this modern time. I really don't think so. But we'll probably just find a way to qualify, win 1 or 2-0. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. And we also
another reason I wanted to ask. I know it's just coming up back of a long-term injury, but we had no.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was called
alternative. Why we have no better alternatives in the John? You mentioned you were satisfied with the two people that played the defensive midfield, but
to an extent,
useless offensively. Offensively, they were.
I agree with that. That's why I said Iheanacho should have come in, because Iheanacho was supposed to be the plug. Like I said, we went to Ghana. We did not go to Ghana basically to win. We went to Ghana not to concede goals. And that was why Aribo and Innocent Bonke sat deeper than usual.
Why would we be going to Ghana to not win?
I don't understand. I don't know why they did that, but I'm just saying. I don't know why they actually did that, but I'm just saying. That was where Iheanacho should have come in to plug that hole between the deep line midfielders and Osimhen. Iheanacho was losing the ball easily, wasn't fighting for the ball, was not tracking back, was just a ghost. Besides the one pass that created the chance for Moses Simon, which was actually a good one. Credit to him for that. But besides that, he did not really, do much to the game. But that's that, chat. Now let's go to Italy. Italy, Macedonia. 32 shots, if I'm not mistaken. 17 on target for Italy. about how many of them were blocked shots. Ciro Immobile alone had, but Macedonia had only 5 shots, 2 on target, they score. Now Donnarumma has, how would I put it now, has been on the losing end of very terrible defeats in the space of just this match. This match, the mistake he made against Real Madrid,
concerning like 2 weeks.
And then against Macedonia, you would wonder, and you're like, this is supposedly the best goalkeeper in the world, still very much young. And what's wrong with him? What's going on with Italy? It's a very funny thing. What do you think happened to Italy on that day?
It's not a Donnarumma problem. It's just Italy. And don't let the stats fool you. Macedonia were comfortable almost throughout that game. Maybe just on 2 or 3 occasions. There was once in the first half when their keeper made a mistake, and Berardi literally had an open goal. But his shot was so weak that he allowed the keeper to come back and save it. Like, they were so disappointing. They created very little. In the second half, maybe it's still half chances. One Berardi shot that the keeper saved was fairly comfortable. So that 32 shots, I don't even know when they were shooting all those shots, but Macedonia were never really on that threat. And they on their own, they carried the threat. Like, they always looked good going forward. They looked good on the ball. They looked very comfortable, like going for attacks. As much as you could see that there was a golf in class or a golf in quality, but you could see that these guys, they were not scared to attack. When they went forward, they held the ball, tried to pass, play around Italy. Like, they weren't panicky or like a small team. Anyway, they are not really a small team, like based on coming second in qualifiers and making it here. They're a small team, but they tried. It was a really big win for them. I think people are focusing too much on Italy and it being disappointing for Italy based on their a really big nation. And I think we are forgetting to commend Macedonia for what they did. It was really, really big.
All right. I believe it was big because this is obviously this is obviously their biggest, their biggest scalp or biggest game, because they've defeated Germany a while back as well. So it's not a fluke of any sort.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, let's talk basketball then. I'm sure Rotimi is already.
But wait. But you know that I don't feel any pity for Italy. Sorry to take us back. I don't feel any pity for Italy because during those qualifiers, I was saying it. Italy and Portugal, they were playing with fire, and both of them. And I love those 2 countries, and Switzerland. They are always there and consistent. So consistency over quality. Like, you have quality, but they will punish you. And now both of them, one of them had to drop. But let's see if Macedonia can catch up Portugal.
That would be almost impossible, though. That would be almost impossible.
And I would also like to say one more thing before we move ahead. I feel no sympathy or pity whatsoever for Italy because football was supposed to come home a few months ago, and Italy single-handedly stopped football from coming home. So this is more like karma, just biting them in the butt, so to say.
Wait, whose home is that? Whose home was football? Whose home?
The Euros, that was played right here on God's own soil.
Home, Ibo ni home. Where is home? All right. Let's go to basketball. Now we're hearing that Ben Simmons is back in training, and it's going to give the Nets another alternative. In trying to focus on attack when it comes to KD and Kyrie, knowing that there's someone able to cover up for their lapses in defense. Rotimi, your thoughts on this?
I'm going to say something very controversial now, but I believe the Brooklyn Nets are far and ahead the favorites to win everything this year. Simply because coming back and able to play home games is even bigger than Ben Simmons training right now, because we saw what Kyrie did on the road and we saw the effect when they were at home. Kyrie is, immense, and on his game, he's one of the top 10 basketballers in the NBA. So I believe that now Kyrie is going to be able to run the point. He's not going to be, having to share duties with Harden, which might have hindered his abilities last year. And aside from that, Kevin Durant is happy once again. We have seen how his mood changes the way he plays. They have taken Harden out of Brooklyn and he's happy. He's dropping 37, 40 points and he might have even run away with the scoring title had he not have had that horrific injury. Going on to Ben Simmons, we know Kyrie can sit in the chair and defend on his day, but he's not really a good defender. And when you match up against a better team, maybe Ja Morant's Memphis Grizzlies, you need someone to be able to sit in the chair and frustrate you. Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, and that is precisely what Ben Simmons is going to do. I don't expect him to be good offensively coming in after not playing for. I expect him to be able to at least, do the basics, sit in front of someone, don't let them get open shots, frustrate. He can guard the 1 to 5, and that is fucking immense. I think he's 6'10", 6'11". So that's to look out for as well. He's going to be able to, reduce the workload on allow us offensively. They're going to be immense. I don't see any team aside from, maybe Giannis's team that might be able to give them a run for their money. Not even the Suns, because good offensively. And, with Ben coming back, they are competent defensively. So that's just my outlook on Brooklyn Nets right now.
Akachukwu,
I think I agree with a lot of what you said. But Ben Simmons brings so much more. Don't forget that this guy was, if he was able to get a jump shot, so he has everything. It's not just on the defensive end. Assists wise, he'll give you 10 assists in his sleep in a game. So he takes some of the defensive load off both of them, Kyrie, and he's a defensive juggernaut. Like, he's playing at his top level. He could be very, very easily be multiple defensive player of the year, like easily. So he's a very big deal for them. If he plays, I said it before, if he's fit enough to even 60-70% Ben Simmons, then I believe Nets are the favorites to win it all, because Kyrie and Durant, if they are in that situation, if they get deep into the playoffs, you don't see any of these teams. You don't see Phoenix stopping them. You don't see Bucks stopping them. Like, it's Kyrie and Durant. They will drop 50 points each every night if they have to, with Simmons like defending. So if Simmons plays to his top level, to me, they are the favorites. I agree with you to win it all. Like, easily win it all.
I like the way everybody is saying if he plays at the top level, if he does that. I still see the Suns beating them. Why? Because the Suns are more of a unit than anybody. The Suns hardly rely on just one player. I don't know. Understand
how the thing. They are more of a unit, yeah. They are more of a unit. But when you have three all-star level players playing together and playing well, and like these guys individually, they'll play for themselves. Durant is not going to be unnecessarily selfish. So Kyrie, exactly the same thing. Kyrie does exactly what the game needs him to do. He's not in a game like that. So while you have to acknowledge a team like Suns that are built on more like team efficiency over one player, when you have it's not one individual, it's two that are so great. There's nothing you can do. It's basketball, so they would still triumph. To me, in fact, the team that would be a threat mostly would be Bucks. If Drew has been going off like in the last few weeks, like, and we know Drew is great defensively too. So if Drew, Middleton, and Giannis play well, are playing on their level, the criticism is always that Middleton is so inconsistent. So we don't know. But if these three guys are playing at a very good level, they would be the only team that I would see that can give Nets a run for their money, in my opinion.
All right.
There's one more thing that we also keep forgetting. History has a way of repeating itself in the NBA. If you look at the last time Kyrie was on a team with someone on Kevin Durant's level, far better team in the Golden State. They played the best. It was game four where Kyrie and LeBron both dropped 41 points each. Yeah, was that game 4 or game 5? I'm not too sure. But they were so good. Kyrie played at such a level that he was so good. They had to double team, and it created a lot of players. So I believe that's something we are not even looking at going into the playoffs. They have Simmons, they have Seth Curry. Those are two dynamites from the
They have Joe Harris. They have Joe Harris. So imagine them playing a lineup with Simmons, Kyrie, Durant, Joe Harris, maybe Isaiah Brown. Those 5 guys. Imagine them going to it.
Don't forget, people look at the Nets, small team, having small stature, not be able to guard big men. But they have Drummond, and forget about anything you have to say. Very good rebounder.
No.
He's a big man.
He understands his role well. That's what I like about Drummond.
So if he were to play against Giannis, he would not stop Giannis. He would not. Giannis would still drop 50 easy. But he would make life difficult.
Wear him down.
Yes, he will make life difficult to not allow him be able to create easy opportunities for the rest of the team, and that's one of the things that might also help them. So I think they are perfect as a team. The only team that has the same level of ability as them is Philly, and the thing you have to look at with Philly is Harden is Harden. Going into the playoffs, Harden is Harden. You can't trust him. You can't put the ball in Harden's hand, and you don't know what he's going to do. He will give you 40 in the regular season, and then go into the playoffs and give you 10 turnovers with 5 assists. It's
But maybe we're a bit unfair on Harden. He went to game 7 against Golden State. Golden State that had KD and Steph. Even though it's not like he was losing in the first or second round. Like, he was getting deep into the playoffs and losing against teams like. And I watched a Draymond Green interview about the Rockets here. So to be honest, it wasn't really about Harden. It was just really about that team. That Rockets team was built to beat Golden State. Like, that was what they had, the front office, the GM, the coach. That was what they had in mind. In fact, he even said it, that's Rockets said it openly, that this team was built to beat Golden State. So Golden State always had that motivation that, okay, you guys are supposed to be able to beat us. And Draymond Green even admitted it, that if Rockets had beaten them, he didn't really see any team from the East that would have stopped Rockets in any of those series. So we shouldn't really be so critical of Harden and in the playoffs. Remember that game 7, he even played without CP3, and they were still so close. They were like within single digits in that game 7 without CP3. So I don't really share that your sentiments that Harden chokes in playoffs. To me, he does his best. Like, maybe he hasn't just been in situations, but with someone like Embiid, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I don't have big so much.
Okay.
I guess only time will tell. We've not even gotten to the playoffs point yet. When we get to the playoffs point, we'll sit down, we'll analyze the chances that each team have. Obviously, we'll have a lot of time to do that. So, but it's time for us to pack our kaya and go.
Yeah, just before we wrap up, CP3 is back ahead of time. Chris Paul. I don't know how much his finger has healed, but he was on the court, and I think he dropped double figure. It was a double figure at least, double figure points, and he looked really good. But there's something that I am afraid of. When looking at the Suns, I'm looking at Memphis. I'm looking at burnout. Aiton has played almost all the games. Same with Devin Booker. Chris Paul has had some rest, but we don't know how much his hand has healed. Ja Morant has been rested intermittently. We really don't know what the problem is, because it's different injuries, different times, but they keep resting him for long stretches of the season. But if you look at the Memphis, Desmond Bane has played almost all the games. Jaren Jackson had some rest. But when you go in deep into the playoffs like this, I feel one of the things that may come and creep is all these muscle injuries like hamstring injuries, stomach injuries. Those are things I'm afraid of when it comes to these teams that are so good in the regular season going into the playoffs.
This team is simple. All these things we've been saying too. Kevin Durant could go on one of his injuries as well. It happens.
But he's basically fresh.
Stop. One person
will go on injury and everything will happen.
We need to see the world needs to see a healthy, like both of them fully healthy. Kyrie and KD play together in the playoffs. We deserve to see that.
They almost beat Giannis.
Klay Thompson was out for
last year.
Did he deserve it? Did he not?
They were a toenail away from beating Giannis's Bucks last year. One toenail.
I remember that the Warriors were a Klay Thompson hamstring or Achilles or a Kevin Durant, whatever, away from winning the Toronto Raptors as well. So that's the way this thing is usually. That's the way the thing is. Your best players get injured and it derails everything. Imagine a Durant and a Thompson being fit when the Warriors bet the Toronto Raptors. You know how it was then. That's the way.
So that'll be a clean sweep.
Sure.
Yeah, this close.
What do you mean? Kawhi was there. Like, how can you?
Kawhi was. They would have swept.
Wait.
Remember, Curry would have taken out the trash. Before.
And then he derailed them.
Kawhi.
He's all right. No problem.
Against the Golden State.
LeBron James was swept the way those guys, Loma, used to sweep.
No, maybe because I make that Golden State team look, because I'm always coming for you guys. Maybe you guys are forgetting the greatness.
But that Raptors team was mad, low key. You guys know.
Golden State. The Golden State was unbeatable. The way they were structured, they were unbeatable. They had Draymond Green,
Kawhi, they had Siakam, they had Ibaka, they had crazy rim protection. They had this guy.
Again, we are going brothers Draymond Green and Kevin Durant,
and they had Green.
We are going into
we're mad, bro. Don't reason it. You guys should not reason it. Like they would have killed Golden State.
There were no match for Golden State. There were literally no match.
Like you guys are overrating this Golden State thing.
Yeah, it's okay. This is simple.
We are LeBron James at the peak of his game.
We are going to end it here. LeBron James
did not have help. But this Raptors team was very, very evenly balanced with a lot of quality and a lot of experience. And so you can't compare it to LeBron James. LeBron James was alone.
All 4 games would have been close, but they would have lost in 4. All 4 games would have been close, but they would have lost in 4.
They would have won in 6.
Order. It's up. Can we order? I'd like 2 drumsticks and 1 milkshake. Can we wrap up, please?
John, please keep your sense of humor out of this podcast.
All right.
So guys, I think we forgot to mention the giveaway.
Yes.
Should I call it giveaway or competition we'll be having from our next every week. 2 people would have a chance to win 5,000 naira. I mean, like, I don't know. Is that a lot of money, John? Is 5K a lot of money?
5K. I'm on data you buy with 5K. Or how much food you buy with 5K?
I swear, 5K for like 60 gig, yeah. That
I can think of a lot of things. I can think of a lot of things I'll do with 5K.
Yeah, so 2 people would win 5K every week. Like, we would ask a question on the podcast, and anyways, we make a tweet about it, but we just said to mention it. So hopefully everyone comes back to listen next week.
Yeah, and what's our Twitter handle for those who would want to follow us on Twitter? Let's just go search Touchscreen Managers.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yes, our Twitter handle. I think they should just go search Touchscreen Managers.
Yeah,
Our
it's
Twitter handle. Sorry, the line
managers.
is breaking up.
Okay.
_managers.
Okay. TS_managers. Yes, we are the top screen managers. So Johnbinho, Akachukwu, and Rotimi, with others as you can follow us on Twitter because we'll be posting that and more. But that's as much as we can take today. On the next episode, if you're able to catch it, then you might just get lucky and be among the 2 lucky winners of the 5,000 naira. So Akachukwu, thank you very much for being a part of this episode.
Thank you, boss, for giving me the opportunity.
And Rotimi, thank you very much for being a part as well.
Yeah, next time when you have me on here, please have some Five Alive and some chicken that we can use as a refreshment. I'm a bit,
If you want to talk to me directly. Stop growing through the corners. You're in London enjoying, and you're giving us standards. All right, thank you very much for being a part of Strictly Sports today. It's been wonderful. Rotimi all the way from London, Akachukwu with me here in Abuja, and we've been, taking you through the Super Eagles game against Ghana, as well as Italy not going to the World Cup. Then basketball, some talks about the Nets and their chances of winning the championship. Johnbinho is my name. Don't forget to spread kindness around wherever you find yourself. And catch you later. Bye for now.